Cam Smith with U Sports Production coming to you from Centennial Park in Langford, BC. Thank you for tuning in. The New Zealand women's national fastball team is in town for a few days for a doubleheader against the U19 Langford Lightning. Both teams are preparing for next week's Canada Cup in Vancouver against teams from around the world, with New Zealand competing in the women's division and the Lightning in the Futures Gold division. The Langford Lightning are coming off an impressive run, winning the 2023 U19 Women's Canadian Championships on home turf last year and the U17 Canadian Championships in 2022. Winning back-to-back national championships is a rare feat in any sport, but winning it with essentially the same players and coaches along the way is impressive, to say the least. Last year's roster returns with all but one player. They still managed to bolster their chances by adding pitcher Jenna Johnson and catcher Abby McLean. Going up against New Zealand's national team is a welcome test for the Langford U19 squad, with the Canadian Cup and Canadian Championships just around the corner. It's doubleheader day at Centennial Park. Should be a good one, folks. New Zealand and the Langford Lightning play ball. And St. Amand is going to get the nod for the Lightning to start this game. And that is Reed up to the plate for New Zealand. And Reed is going to hit a sharp grounder. That's right over to Rayan. Rayan right over to first base of Lehman. That's for the first out of the inning. And then Shawte would reach first on an error. Terry up to bat. 2 strikes on her. And St. Amand would rear back and throw. Oh, that's a beauty of a ball. That's for the strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. And Shawte now on second. St. Amand with the delivery. Oh, and look out, Potter belts this one, but can't hit under that. That's an easy one for Jorgensen. That's 3 out in the inning. That will retire the side. And Lightning coming up in the bottom of the first. And Amy Begg getting the start for New Zealand. And up the bat for the Lightning, that is Gillis. Gillis is a dangerous leadoff hitter. And on 4 pitches, Gillis is going to walk. You don't want that to happen. And Gillis will move over to second on a pass ball. And Rayan now steps up to the plate for the Lightning. And Rayan is just going to slash this ball right down the first base line. And there goes Gillis. That's why you don't walk her. She's going to come around. She's going to score. And in with a nice timely hit is Rayan. Bryden would single out the first, but move Rayan over to second, and Rayan over on the pass ball to third. And that sets up Johnson with 1 out, and Johnson is going to take a slash at this ball, go the other way, but that's a great catch right there by Shawte. She tries to get Rayan, but safe at third. 2 out. Third, and that brings up Forche, and that is Begg is going to blow one with 2 strikes right past Forche and retire the side, leaving a stranded runner at third. But the Langford Lightning capitalizing early, 1-0 early on. Top of the second, McIntyre on second base by the way of a walk and a stolen base. That is John Amand on the mound. Blackmore, 2 strikes on her, looking. That is for the first out of the inning. Then Matthews is going to hit a sharp grounder, and Bryden's going to eat this one up over to first. But that is McIntyre moving over to third. That's 2 outs. Then a walk by Jorgensen. That's runners at the corners. And St. Amand, that's Reed up to the plate. Reed is going to hit one right up the middle. Oh, it's just missed on the play. And McIntyre would score on the play. Reed into second, into third. That is Jorgensen, and in business right now is this New Zealand team. Potter's in scoring position for Shawte. St. Amand trying to get out of this jam. And she delivers, and Shawte is going to go the opposite way, and that will score Jorgensen. And there is runners at the corners, 2 outs. They're still going at it, New Zealand. And Francis trying to keep this rally going for New Zealand. But St. Amand, well, she's got something else coming, and that's a fastball. And that's a beauty right there. That retired the side. But not before New Zealand, and with 2 unanswered runs. 2-1 in New Zealand early on. St. Amand leading things off for the Lightning in the bottom half of the second inning. And St. Amand is going to take this pitch on. She pops it up. But I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of miscommunication here, and she'll take that any day. First pace for St. Amand. And Lehman up the bat with a runner at first. Begg on the mound for New Zealand, and Begg is going to throw a nice curveball right down the pipe, and swing and a miss. Lehman, that's for the first out of the inning. And then McKenna Ani up to the plate, and she's going to drive this ball out to center field. But that is Blackmore, got a good beat on it, and to hold the runner. That's a great play right there. 2 outs in the inning. And then with a 1-2 count, Big facing Pepin, and Big is going to throw this ball. That's a beauty of a pitch. That freezes Pepin. That's for the third out of the inning. And they retire the side, this New England squad, going up to the top half of the third inning. And the top half of the third inning, St. Amand would walk Pangiano, and up to the plate would be Potter. And Potter is going to hit a sharp grounder. That's going to get in between short and third. And I'll tell you what, that is for a single. And we've got runners at first and second. And we have a pitching change for the Lightning. That'll be it for St. Amand. She pitched a good couple of innings. And here comes Johnson, who is looking to settle things down in the third inning for the Lightning. And with runners at first and second and nobody out, Johnson's first batter is going to be McIntyre. And McIntyre is going to hit this ball. There's a grounder, and it's going to go right short hop by Gillis, who will throw McIntyre out at first, but runners will advance. That's a great play by Gillis. And then Blackmore looking to cash in some runners. She's going to lay down the bunt. And I'll tell you what, there is Gillis again. Well, fires at the first, just mishandled by Rand. And that is going to score 2 runs. And that's going to put New Zealand up 4-1 in the top of the third. And then Matthews looking to keep things going here. And she tries to rip this ball right down the third baseline, right past the diving Gillis. And that's a speedster. That's Blackmore. That'll put runners at second and third in the top of the third inning. And Jorgensen would walk, and that is Reed up to the plate, looking to cash in. Bases loaded, wanted to open this thing up. She's going to take a slap at this, drive it the other way, right in between third and short. But that will score a run. Bases still loading, 5-1 for this New Zealand team. And then Shaw Tate, this young woman, she can do some damage. And Johnson trying to get out of this jam with the bases loaded. And this is going to be a comeback right to Johnson. An alert play. He'll take the force out. Bases still loaded, but that'll be 2 outs in the inning. Now Johnson would have to face Francis. And Francis with the bases loaded. You know, this ball seems to have its own eyes because it just is finding holes everywhere. And that is going to score another run. That scores 2 runs and 8-1. New Zealand has broken this open. And then runners at first and second, 8-1. Pangiano, oh, she's going to just over the head of Johnson, but look out, there's Bryden. What a play to get the third out. Oh, and that is a beauty. Let's take a look at this one again. Pangiano just gets under this ball, and that goes right over, just out of the reach of Johnson. But look at Bryden, gets down, glove, hand, and a snap throw right to first base. That's a beauty right there. Retiring the side, but not before this New Zealand team. They're pretty happy now. That's 6 unanswered runs, and you got to love that for them. They're bottom of the third inning. They're pretty happy right now. And then the Lightning leadoff hitter, that is Gillis. Gillis up to the plate. And this young lady, she is intense, and she is a spitfire, and she is going to drive this ball the opposite way. That's going to go all the way to the fence, and she has got wheels. She's rounding second. She's heading to third, and in with a pop-up slide. That's a beauty. And she is jacked up, and I guess so. That's a great hit by this young woman. And then Rayan is up to bat for Lightning, and she's going to look to follow the lead of Gillis. But Begg has something else to say, and she just shaves the corner. That's for the strikeout. And Bryden next up to bat for the Lightning. And Bryden, this young woman, she's got a bat, I'll tell you. And she is just going to take a rip at this ball. That is a sharp shot. But what a play right there by Pangiano. And there's no chance for Gillis to advance. Johnson, the lefty, going to step up to the plate, and the pitch delivered, and this is a shot right over the shortstop. That is gobbled up by Shaw Tate over to first for the third out, stranding Gillis at third base. Something started off promising, but it just fizzled out, heading to the top of the fourth. And top of the fourth, 1 on, 2 outs, and that is Johnson facing Matthews. Matthews looking like she's going to lay down a bunt, but no, she's going to absolutely rip this ball deep to left field. But here is Pepin just about to the warning track. I'll tell you what, that is a fantastic catch by this young woman, and that'll retire the side right there. And that's some great defense by the Lightning. And looking to counter on that. This is the bottom of the fourth inning. Runners at second and third. Ani up to bat. Monk is pitching now for New Zealand, and Ani is just going to rip this ball over to first base. Oh, what a catch! And doubling up at third. That is some great defense by the White Sox heading into the top of the fifth. And then Reed is up to bat for New Zealand. That's Johnson Johnson is going to throw a nice pitch, but Reed is going to absolutely drive this. That is going to go all the way to the wall. Jorgensen picking it off quickly and gets it into second, but he wouldn't stand up double is Reed. And then Shaw Tate with one out. She's going to drive this ball to the opposite field. And Cinnamon with a great catch. And she will rifle it in quickly. But tagging up is Reed over to third base. 2 out. In time, I up the bat for New Zealand. Looking to cash in the runner. Put another run on the board. And Johnson's going to throw a beauty of a pitch right here. And that is high. And she gets under it still. But that is Bryden. Bryden with a great catch. Now will retire the side. Still 8-1, bottom of the 5th. And Parker is going to be in the pitch for the New Zealand White Sox. And with 2 outs, she will face Rainin. And Rainin is just going to slap this ball. This is going all the way to left field, but look out right there is Jorgensen with a fantastic catch. You got to love that. That's some great defense by this New Zealand team. And Forte in the pitch for the Lightning, top of the 6th. Runner at second base, and Blackmore is going to hit this one. That's a one bouncer again, right over to Gillis with a great play, and that's going to retire the side. And we move to the top half of the 7th inning, 8-1 for New Zealand. And up to bat is Nola with a sharp grounder. That's right over to Rainin. Rainin over to Peyton Bryden and over to first base. Abby McLean, textbook double play by this Lightning. And with a runner at first now and 2 out, that is Forte doing a good job. And she's going to throw this right down, and that shot Tate's going to pop it up. And Rainin camping under it. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Heading to the bottom half of the 7th. Last chance for the Lightning. And Parker still in for New Zealand, trying to mop this up in the 7th inning. That is Abby McLean. Abby McLean steps up to the plate. And she's going to rip this ball right up the middle. And she's going to get things started here. Runner at first base. And Parker for New Zealand is going to face Pepin. And Pepin with that runner at first base, looking to advance her and get on herself. And that is a hopper right up the second baseman over to first, but it's missed. And running over to third base right there. That's McLean with some heads-up base running. That's runners at the corners with nobody out. And look out, here comes Gillis. Gillis up to the plate. And there's a delivery. Gillis takes a rip at it. That is a grounder right to shortstop. She bobbles it. In goes a runner. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. And runners will move over to second and third. Rainin up the bat for the Lightning. And Rainin is going to try a drag bunt to get her on base. Oh, but she misses. That's on 2 strikes. And she's going to be thrown out. That's a 3rd strike right there. And still at second and third. That holds the runners. And then the ever dangerous Peyton Bryden with ducks on the pond. And Bryden is going to take this Parker offering and just rip it out in between. That's right center. And look out. Here comes the runners, and they both will score on the play. 8-4. They're still hanging in there, this Lightning team. And with Bryden at first base, you never say die, this Lightning team. It's 8-4. There's 2 outs. And that is Johnson at the plate, and she's going to hit this right back to Parker. Great snag over to first base to Potter. That's Parker to Potter. Say that 3 times. I'll tell you what, that's the end of this game. 8-4 is the final. New Zealand takes the first game of this doubleheader. Great game by both teams. Like, they started off a little bit slow. The Lightning, they couldn't get their bats going, but they put it together at the end. And New Zealand, they came out early, did their job with some good pitching and timely hitting. And this is going to be exciting. We got the second half of the doubleheader coming right up. New Zealand and Langford Lightning. And the second half of the doubleheader underway. Terry on the mound for New Zealand. Runners at first and second. That's Bryden. He's going to take a rip at this. That's going to go right through the infield. And in to score is Gillis. And into third base, that is Rainin and second. That's a good double there by Peyton Bryden. And with runners at second and third, Jenna Johnson steps up to the plate. Looking to cash in some runners, and she will hit a slow grounder. That's going right to second base. And that's a fielder's choice, and she's going to take for the sure out, and that will score a run. 2-0 Langford getting after it early. And Pepin would pop out, and St. Amand would walk, and that will bring up McLean. Runners at the corner, and Terry looking to retire this side, get out of this inning quickly. And Terry with the pitch, and she throws a low ball. Oh, but catcher's going to throw it out to second base, and that's for the tag out. Somebody's sleeping on the job here, but that is the 3rd out of the inning, but we sure hope McIntyre is good to go. And Johnson on the mound for Langford, and that is Blackmore. She's going to take a rip at this. That is popped up, and that ball is just going to find its own way. That's a tough one. Lights changing, it's getting darker. Lights are coming on, but she gets a double out of that. Winnionoka at the plate for New Zealand, and Johnson delivers first on second, and that is just ripped. That's right out to left center field. Bringing in is Pepin. Pepin, the runner, will score. And going into second is Winnionoka, and that's for a slide-in double, and that puts them on the board. And good to see McIntyre is okay. And McIntyre is going to take a rip this one. First on second base, and that is Lehman getting the out. And that's a beauty. That's runner on second, one out. And then two strikes on Tangiano. And Johnson is going to rear back, and that is outside, and she swings and misses for the second out of the inning. And then Potter up to the plate, and Johnson is going to throw a nice pitch. That's going to pop her up right, going to Bryden, and that will retire the side. Not before New Zealand could get one run. The score is 2-1 heading to the top half of the second inning. And McLean would lead off with a walk and then steals second. Runner in scoring position for Pepin. Terry on the mound for New Zealand. And Terry with the pitch and driving it right up the middle. That is a great stroke right there. And runner held up at third. You got runners on the corner again. No outs in this inning. Langford, oh no, there goes Pepin. Pepin over to second alertly. That's a great play. And Jorgensen going to step up to the plate, looking to cash in that runner at third. And that is Pepin at third, and nice cut by Jorgensen. That's just mishandled by second. McLean will score. Pepin safe at third. And in at first is Jorgensen. Gillis would pop out Jorgensen over to second on a steal. And there are two outs in the inning for Rainin. Rainin looking to cash those runners in. And she is going to take this Terry offering, and she is going to take a rip, and it just gets under it. And Blackmore's camped right under it, and that is for the third out of the inning. And New Zealand gets out of this one with only run let in. And up to the plate is Taviti for New Zealand, and Johnson. Johnson is going to deliver a really nice pitch here. And Taviti just going to drive this back. It's going back. Oh, look out, Jorgensen's got that. And she's got a smile for the camera. Doing it all right there. That was a great catch by Jorgensen, tracking that ball down nicely. And then Shaw Tate is next up for New Zealand, and she is going to absolutely rip this ball. And she takes it deep, but Pepin is there for the second out of the inning. This outfield doing a great job. And Johnson would walk the next batter, and then she would steal second. Runner at second, two outs. And Reed up to the plate, and Reed will take this Johnson pitch. She'll go the other way with it, but there is Gillis. That is sure-handed with a rifle arm over to first for the third out. We're heading to the bottom half of the third inning, and that's going to bring up Bryden. It is 3-1, and Bryden having a good day at the plate, looking to start things off in the third inning. And Bryden is going to take a nice shot. That is a nice clean single. That starts things off. We got a runner at first base for the Lightning. Johnson would walk, putting runners at first and second. Forte up to plate. And look out, here comes Terry with the pitch. And look at Forte with a great hit. And that is going to load the bases up right there. Langford in business. And St. Amand would fly out to left field. And that's going to bring up McLean with the bases loaded. McLean looking to get things going. She's going to take a pitch right there. And as the pitch goes back, or the catcher throws it back to the pitcher with some great base running right there. That is Peyton Bryden safe at home. Runners will advance. That's a gutsy call right there by the coach. And with New Zealand a little bit of jam, they're going to talk about this, but Terry is going to stay in. And McLean on a 1-0 count. Ducks on the pond, and she is going to absolutely take a rip at this ball. And it is going all the way to the fence. That is a great hit. That will cash into two runners, and in with a stand-up double of McLean. Great piece of hitting. And 5-1 for the Langford Lightning. Runner at second, and Pepin would walk. That puts runners at first and second. And Jorgensen looking to cash something in, and Jorgensen is going to take a swipe at this, and it's just going to pop right up to Shaw Tate, who's just going to camp under it. And she's going to get the out. That holds the runners. Two outs in the inning. And that's going to bring up Gillis. 6-1 to score. Gillis trying to break this open a little bit more. And Gillis is going to take the Terry offering. And she's just going to take a rip at it right here. And it is going, that just is caught by McIntyre. Leaves the runner stranded. But that was a good inning for Langford. 6-1 heading to the bottom half of the third inning. And And Johnson facing Blackmore, and she is going to do the old 1-2, buckle my shoe, 3-4, shut the door, swing and a miss. Great job of pitching on the 1-2 count by Johnson. And it's Winnie Anoka, and she is going to take a nice rip at this ball. It's going to go all the way out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen pulls her to a long single and run her to second on a pass ball. And that is bring up McIntyre. And McIntyre is going to take a rip at this. But there is Peyton Bryden. Bryden over to first, takes a sure out, runner over to third. And 6-1. Runner at second. Tangiano at the plate, 2 outs. And we got a full count. Johnson with the pitch, a nice pitch. And that is popped up. And there is Bryden. Bryden's going to take a sure out. And that's going to retire the side. No runs in. Still 6-1 for the Lightning team. And leading things off for Langford is going to be Rainan. Into pitch for New Zealand. That is going to be Monk. And Monk delivers to Rainan. Rainan slaps at it. And there is Shaw Tate sure-handed. That's for the first out of the inning. But then Bryden was out. And then Monk would deliver to Johnson. And she's going to get on top of this one. That's going to be a 2-hopper right over to second baseman. And that's going to take care of it. That's for the third out. 6-1, headed to bottom of the fourth. And leadoff hitter for New Zealand is Shaw Tate. Johnson looking to shut her down early, but she's got to take a rip at this. Oh, getting a piece of it. There's Gillis. And Bryden picking it up, but not before Shaw Tate gets to first. And that's going to bring up Tavidi up for the White Sox. And Johnson with the pitch. And Tavidi is just going to get under this one. And that's Bryden. And that's a nice play right there. Take that sure out at first. And corrections, that's Potter that's at second base. Now it's Shaw Tate up to bat. And the delivery. Shaw Tate takes it the other way. Takes a rip at it. Here's St. Amant. Great catch. Gets it in quickly. And holds the runner at second. 2 outs in the inning. And Nola trying looking to cash in this runner. She just gets under that. Runner is moving on 2 outs, and that's Jorgensen. She's going to rifle this in, one bouncer. And the tag by McLean. That is a great play and a great throw by Jorgensen. That is fantastic. That's for the third out of the inning. That retires his side. Forshea would ground out, and St. Amand would walk. And then McLean would get a nice single. There's runners at first and second. That is for Kinna Ani. It's taken, that's his wild pitch. And that is going to put runners at second and third with 1 out. And then after a long at bat, Ani would be frozen on a nice pitch by Monk. That's for the second out of the inning. And then Ani into pinch run for McLean at second. And up to bat is Jorgensen. And Jorgensen with a nice eye would take the walk. And that is going to load the bases up with 1 out the top of the 5th inning. And it brings up dangerous hitter Gillis. But there is that's a pass ball, and that is going to score a run. St. Amand in. Runners advance. And Gillis looking to just break this wide open. And that is Monk. Monk with the delivery, and that is another pass ball, and in the score is Ani making the score 8-1. Jorgensen alertly over the third base. And then with 2 outs, Kayla Gillis still has a runner at the third, and she's going to take a rip at this, and it goes all the way to right field with a great catch, and that will retire the side. Not before the Langford Lightning get 2 more runs, making it 8-1. New Zealand would get 2 more runs, make it 8-3 final for the Langford Lightning in the rubber match. What a great showing by both these teams. That's some exciting ball and shows you what women's ball has to offer at this level. Next up for both these teams is the Canada Cup. And then later on in July, the Langford Lightning, they're going to travel all the way to Saskatchewan for the U19 Canadians and try to make it the 3rd in a row. Let's get out in the community. Let's support events like this. My name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the field.